Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I'm doing Picket Fence Stream Speed Build. So this is part 2 out of 3. If you missed the last part, you should definitely go check it out, especially if you like watching exterior builds or landscaping. If you would like to download this gallery, oh my gosh, if you'd like to download this gallery, yes, no. If you'd like to download this build, it's up on the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. So in this part, I am finishing up the exterior. I've already laid out the rooms, and at this point I decided that I wanted a basement. So the majority of this build is actually going to be the basement, which is a little bit surprising because the basement is a little bit smaller than the rest of the house, but most of the house interior is actually going to be in part 3. So yeah, but I wanted this basement to be like really luxurious. I wanted it to be one of those basements where you kind of ran out of room for your house above ground, and so you kind of wanted to make up for it by really decking out the downstairs basement area. I thought that would just be a lot of fun. I don't usually do that. I grew up not with the basement. No, we had a crawl space that was like would flood sometimes. That's about it. And so whenever I would visit my family on the East Coast, they had like really cool basements. So that's kind of what this was inspired off of. And so after I'm kind of done like formatting some of the layout for this and choosing some of the colors for the inside, I will be moving on to the basement. So I mentioned this in the last part, but if you're wondering why this is like a 3-parter, because this isn't that huge of a build, it's actually because this build took me a really long time because I'm doing school right now, and I would give myself 20-minute breaks, and then I would come and do a 20-minute section of this house, and so I think that kind of made it a bit longer. In my last video I said it took me 5 hours, but I was wrong. It actually took me 6. It was one of those things where it took me like 5 hours and 49 minutes sort of thing, and so I like kind of forgot to count the 49 minutes. But yeah, so we finally moved on to the basement, and I wanted to have a really sort of luxurious bathroom, and this bathroom, I don't know, the black and white theme is kind of interesting. I don't know if it really goes with the rest of the house, but I thought it'd be a lot of fun to do, and in a way it kind of reminds me of the new bathroom in Bob's Burgers, just like the kind of intense modern black and white and gray sort of finish, which I don't know, I kind of like it. But yeah, like this is gonna be a huge movie theater area, and there's also going to be a second sort of guest bedroom. This house has 3 bedrooms in all. It has an upstairs master bedroom and then 3 kids' rooms. One of them's a baby room, and then it has a first floor bedroom, which I imagine as being a guest room, and then it has another guest room down here. And like I said, this is actually really, in a way, sort of modeled off of my aunt's house, which I would spend about 2 weeks in every summer. And it was just always, so different from my house. It was always really interesting to me. But yeah, now that I'm kind of looking at this bathroom a bit more clearly, it kind of really doesn't fit with the rest of the house. I'm kind of actually wondering what I was thinking here. I mean, I really like it. I think it's a good bathroom. I just think it's so hyper modern that I maybe should have went with some other stuff, especially because here I'm starting on a bedroom, and for this bedroom, I kind of went with a sort of discarded furniture kind of thing. The sort of idea that your guest room gets the furniture that you don't want to use every day. And so some of it's a bit dinged up. It doesn't quite match. It has that really old kind of desk. And so that really is like quite the opposite of the bathroom. But, I guess all houses have their eclectic moments. But here is just a basic sort of like catch-all sort of guest room. And I do end up putting in a fireplace right here. And it's one of 2 fireplaces in the house. And it would be kind of unrealistic to have that type of fireplace downstairs, but like, oh my gosh, when I would visit my family on the East Coast, it would always be like scorching outside during the summer. And then at night, my mom and I would be like freezing in the basement because like that's where we would stay sometimes, and it was always so cold. And so I wanted to make sure there was a fireplace just because it was always really cold. And so here I am doing the sort of theater room sort of thing, and I didn't really want to go with a straight up theater room. I wanted it to be a sort of family, like living room / big theater. And here I also put in a popcorn thing because I love me some popcorn. Oh, and here, this is one of the things I want to talk about. I end up using this sort of game console thing. I'm like arcade game, that's what you'd call it. And I almost never see anybody use this. Like, I don't see it when people play Let's Plays. I don't see it when people do speed builds. Like, I just don't see it anywhere. It's so weird. Like, I don't use it in game. I think maybe that's because of where you find it in buy mode. I forget where you do, but it's kind of in a weird spot. But I put that in there because, you know, like I was saying, I wanted the basement to be kind of luxurious, but also it was sort of recreating how my aunt had a pinball machine in the basement. And that was always like crazy for me and for my cousins. We were always just like playing the pinball machine, and we were all terrible. And so like my aunt would like give them quarters and me quarters, like especially if they did like their chores. That is how you speak. Chores. And so then they'd use them, and then she'd empty the machine and get her quarters back. And so I always thought that was really funny. And so I'm also adding just a little gym in here, and it's a little bit sparse. I kind of added it semi last minute, but it is how it is, and I think it's pretty serviceable. And you get like the 3 main types of gym equipment, which is the weight machine, the treadmill, and then the punching bag. I'm kind of wondering when the Sims team is going to give us like more workout equipment that isn't just those things. I mean, we also have a yoga mat, but you know, like an elliptical or something, because I mean, that's my favorite gym machine. But I forgot to tell you guys that we are also going to be doing the kitchen in this build. Yeah, there's always something I forget in the intro, and today it was the kitchen. But yeah, so I wanted to add a little pantry section because I love me a pantry in The Sims. I love a pantry in real life. They just make so much sense. But this section has an eat-in kitchen, and maybe am I going to be doing the dining room? I might be. But it has like a couple seats for an eat-in kitchen, and then it also has the sort of formal dining room. And this kitchen took on a very black and white vibe, which almost matches the downstairs bathroom, but this is a lot more sort of traditional. And I just really love the layout of this kitchen. I think it looks very classic. And so I really like that. Although, for it to really be classic, I think that the window over the kitchen sink would need to face outside to the backyard. Like, there is a window in the kitchen to where you could see the backyard, but I think in a way that's sort of classic Americana, and that, you know, somebody, whoever was doing the dishes, would be also keeping an eye on the children outside. So, you know, but I personally have this weird thing where I love putting windows over like sinks. I don't know what it is, but that's one of my things. But here I'm doing the dining room, and I actually managed to seat a fair amount of people. I figured that 6 here really probably wouldn't be enough for how many, you'd have to only have one person per bedroom. But this house could actually sleep more than 8 Sims, which is, like I said in the last build, surprising for me because I always forget to leave enough room for bedrooms. I don't know why. But after this, I'm actually going to be starting on the living room, but I don't complete it. That'll be coming in part 3, along with all of the bedrooms. And so when I get into the living room, it's a little bit dark because I forgot to put lights in while I was building, so I kind of apologize for that. But I think it's serviceable, I guess. But here I wanted the sort of show living room, especially because you have the more friendly one downstairs, and so I wanted this living room to be more if you have guests and you want to be oh, look at our home, it's so lovely and beautiful. And so this would be the living room for that. And so I love the plants I put in here. I love the bookshelves. There's actually a lot of bookshelves ended up in this build. I'm not quite sure why. A couple stacks of books. I guess this family reads. I guess. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to leave me a like, a comment, or subscribe. Part 3 should be coming up pretty soon. If you want to download this build, it's up on the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. Also, I am trying to get to 50 subscribers by my birthday on August 16th, which I didn't think would be a thing because I kind of didn't have any new subscribers for days and days, and all of a sudden today I just got 3 more. It was wow. But anyways, I hope that you guys are having a good day. Some screenshots are coming up soon, just of the things that you saw me do in this build, just to kind of make sure that you didn't have 8 minutes of screenshots on part 3. But yeah, they are coming up soon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!